Hi guys, Nova here. So one of our cult elders requested that we bring back the Novympia Sweatshop. It's Olympia, by the way, it's not even Nova. So this video is for Kieran Aveiro Leonard. Hello, darling. So I thought I had some people ask me how I made my holographic garter belt situation that I wore for Pride this year, Bournemouth's Pride Festival, Born Free. I'll put up a little video. Here's what it looks like. This is what it looks like on cute photo. I look so darling, can't get over it. This is the beast. So these things are all over Etsy and AliExpress and eBay and Amazon, and you know, they are pretty much made by, they're not companies. I'm pretty sure the majority of these things are made by individuals. They are fairly expensive. In price, they range anywhere from, like, I mean, if you're talking about a really cheap kind of flimsy one, you could pay like $30 kind of area, which is what, like 20, 25 pounds, anywhere up to like $100, £100 area. So they can be very, very expensive. So I literally looked at that and thought, that is something that you can probably just make yourself. I'm in the drag room, there's stuff everywhere. Green screen, that's just the green screen. I'm not gonna get rid of it, that's fine. So I'm gonna just deconstruct this. I'm not gonna make another one, but I'm gonna deconstruct it and show you how I did it. It is literally a bunch of belts and rings and hooks and stuff from the hardware store, and the belts are from like Primark, or you can get them in like a charity shop. I'll show you like what I've got and like how I did this. The flowers, by the way, I mean, I'm gonna take the flowers off. It was a Hawaiian themed Pride in Bournemouth this year. So I had them anyway, but the whole reason I stuck these on the ass was because I was not happy with the butt padding that I had done. The hips were so great, they don't lie. But the butt wasn't very good, so I just thought I didn't even use it. And then I thought it looked a bit flat, like the proportions weren't great. So that's why there's that on there. But I'm thinking I might just take that off right now. So that's gone. So here we go. Now, the reason I think that these are so expensive, obviously it takes a while to make them, but the Holo fabric itself is quite expensive to buy. This is what it's like. You can buy it in rolls, or you can buy like little squares of it, but it is quite expensive if you're going to be buying a fair amount. And I did have to get a fair amount to cover these belts. It's quite, you know, lots of long strips needed to do this. So the material I actually got in the end was on Etsy. If you search for holographic vinyl fabric, because that's what it is. It's like the one side is really plasticky, the other side is like slightly fairy. It was £18 versus, like, you're talking about like double that to buy it from like eBay or any other place. So the people I found, they're called Rainbow of Stitches, and that was the company where I managed to get this. So I went with blue. It's a nice, well, it says turquoise, I'm just looking at it right now, but that's what it is. Oh, it looks so regal. I was going to maybe incorporate some silver as well, so, ooh, just move the camera. I did get some silver as well, which I didn't end up using because I feel like it looked much better all in one colour. The silver I did use though to adorn the bottom of my shoes, which is a nice touch, little cute booty. The belts themselves, I think in total, if you were to combine the cost of this versus like to buy one of these, the ones I was looking at was literally like £100. So to combine this, you're talking about the Holo fabric, which was like £18. The belts, I mean, the most expensive belt was the main one, but again, that was Primark, which was maybe like a £5. And then the rest of them were either, I mean, we have loads of old shit lying around anyway, so I had these like off an old handbag, so that was kind of free. These little ones I got were £1.50. I don't know if you can see that. £1.50 in Primark for these. So at the moment we're up to like what, 25, 26 quid. I mean, we have a glue gun. The majority of this was made using hot glue. In fact, all of it was, and the rest of it sort of all hooks together, but I'll deconstruct it and show you that. And then I went to the hardware store. The hardware store is your friend. Hardware stores, B&Q, Home-based, places like that. Or, again, like in a charity shop or a thrift store, if you can find like an old handbag, they're great to kind of like break apart. So you can find like rings and hooks and stuff. Once you have the basic shape of this and you've like figured it out on yourself, you just kind of go crazy with like details and stuff. So I went into B&Q and I found there's a company called Dye All, which you can just about see on there, and they do like hooks and rings and stuff. So all of the rings I got were from this company, and this was maybe like £4 a pack, so I got a couple of these. So really in total the cost of this was about £35 versus 100. So really, it didn't take very long to make either. You know, cost-wise, that's great. I'll just quickly say, when you're covering the belts with this Holo fabric, and of course this is what I made was a garter belt situation. It would be exactly the same thing if you were gonna make some kind of harness or some kind of like bra harness situation, anything really, anything for your arms, whatever it is. Covering the belts, I thought this fabric would be thick enough that the hot glue would not necessarily kind of warp it, but it does. So this is just like a section of it. The glue is on the other side. So the glue is gonna be, I put the glue down one side here and bent the fabric over one side and then did the other side. That will give you a smooth texture on there. Can you see that? You can just about see that. If you put the glue directly on this side and then just press the fabric on, it goes kind of warped, which you can see, like in some places it has gone a little bit like crinkly, which you don't really want. You'd rather it be completely smooth. So that's how I would glue the fabric to the actual belts. Sometimes, you know, you might glue something onto a plastic and the hot glue doesn't adhere, it will just peel off afterwards. But the fact that the one side of this is furry really means it sticks like a bastard. So let me just take this apart and you can see what's going on. So this is the main belt. This is like the fanciest belt that they had in Primark, but it really was the kind of thing I was looking for. With this kind of detailing on it. I guess you probably want all of your metallic elements to be the same color. If you're mixing gold and silver, it might look weird, but listen, I mean, what did Joanna Lumley say? Like, the masters can mix any color. So this kind of belt is great because it has this part in the front where you can just completely take it out, which is good for really adjusting it to make sure it fits, because once you have this gluey one side, it does make it a little bit hard to get on, but like, who cares, it's fine. So sometimes with like a belt, with the end of a belt, you can see these bits will come unscrewed. They have like screw bits there, and then once you've done that, literally you're literally just covering strips of like synthetic leather with this stuff, and then just punching a few holes in it. So once that's done, you really can just like cut this up and add in just bits where you want. Like for these end bits here, I would like maybe cut it once it was on. I would just like cut it, snip it, add like a ring. This was off of a handbag. This ring was off of this like shitty handbag I found in a charity shop, which, I mean, how much are you gonna spend on that? Who even knows? It's so gross. It's super easy to kind of put them back together over this as well, because it is literally just a piece of this material glued under it, and it is so strong, it's so secure, there is no way that's gonna come off. If you have old jewelry lying around, you know, anything with like a chain on, or you can just get creative, just like see what you have in the house. These studs are off of an old stud belt. You know those emo belts that just like never lasted and the studs always flew off? I just started picking these off. These are really easy to adhere to this fabric, because once you have opened out these spikes underneath the stud, you just have to feed it through the plastic and then kind of force it in and press each side of the spikes into like the square formation, just push it down. They really do stay stuck, so they're great to just adorn it with. Like once you have the shape of it, just go ham on it. This massive chain came off that handbag. That's just attached with these two rings right here, which is, I mean, that's literally just like a piece of fabric, a piece of the material, like glued on that side. That's on the ass. Smack that ass. So this is like the main belt. So let's just put this back together. The actual kind of leg piece, so this sits in front. Again, it's just a long ass piece of the material. When I'm walking, this will occasionally bend if I'm kind of like kneeling down or sitting down. It's not always going to stay like that because your kind of body moves. So I have covered the back side of these ones with another strip of this fabric, because you don't want to see what this looks like. But because this is the belt that goes around your waist, you're never going to see this. I just left this looking skanky on the inside because no one's ever going to know. So with the leg pieces then, I have attached this part to the rings on either side of the kind of belt closure just here. So these rings right here, this is off of a handbag. Again, it's a handbag strap. In fact, I'm pretty sure this whole belt piece here was the same handbag strap. So this would be like how you wear, all right, handbag, a lady's bag. Once I had this piece of belt covered with the fabric, I just left some extra at the end. If you're going to be cutting these and covering it, I would always leave a bit of extra at the end, because you never know what you're going to like feed it through, and then glue it down on the other side, and then that's that bit. So that hooks onto here. So great. You know what I actually did as well? I have these rings, which came off of the Avril Lavigne perfume. she just stuck this like stud ring thing, and I thought it looked quite cute to feed that over the top because it ends up looking like one of those kind of like sheriff shoes. Sheriff shoes? Cowboy boots. These rings I just stuck on there, like go ham, just put stuff anywhere, just like live your life. These are literally just laid out, glue a whole bunch of shit over them, and then when it's dried, cover it with a piece of that material. That looks cute. A little cheat I did is if, because it was all like, you know, made up as I was going along. If a piece of fabric, I'd forgotten to leave a little extra piece, and I had to add a piece of fabric over it. These studs here are concealing the fact that there is a line there, so you can use these studs to your advantage. One of these things, I don't know what these are called, I don't know what they're for, it's the same company, these things. Again, just shove it in when you can. These look cute towards the bottom of your thigh. And I just created, I really had to go in quite hard with the glue here and add a lot of glue for this bit, just to make sure this bit didn't ping off. This is just a really thin belt, and there's some elastic at the back, which I could have made tighter. I could have used a finer quality elastic. This was lying around, I don't know where this is from, and it's now fraying. So maybe go for some good elastic. You just have to kind of like trial and error and see what's going to stay on your legs, because this did slide down a little bit, and I will be adjusting this. I will be putting some stronger elastic on it. Again, look, a few studs, why not? Okay, so we've now got the belt, and we've got one of those leg things. Let's put the other one on. These things are good. This is like one of those strap adjusting devices, but that came off of that handbag. So again, once I'd snipped the handbag, this thing just fell off. I just added it on one side. Little asymmetry, that's nice. This thing literally just feeds through here. It's a bit stiff to get on it, but just put it on anywhere and then just like leave it. And it looks really cute. So profesh, who's gonna know? So there's nothing going on at the back. These are on the front. It literally is like something a horse would wear. And then that's the belt. And then on the side, again, just these two little loopy things were off of some handbag straps. So some shitty old handbags that you can find anywhere for like next to nothing. That's on a really long piece of this fabric. I added some of those rings on it again because it looked cute. And then this is gonna go, these just hang down the side like limp tits. It's gonna go on that thing at the front again, I think. Is that where I put it? Yeah, and then these two things at the back that I put this giant chain on act as the other part to hang that off of. So it's like you can like build it up.
Shush! Where's the other one? Bloody hell.
Either you're kind of au fait with using hot glue, if that's even a phrase, or you know, it kind of freaks you out, you've never used it before. It is obviously incredibly hot glue. If you ever watch Drag Race and they burn themselves, it is hot. But there are ways you can. Whenever I'm using hot glue and you don't necessarily want to wait for it to dry, or it needs to be dry very quickly because of the kind of like manipulation you're using, you have to kind of hold it in place. There are ways that you can push the hot glue with your naked finger and then quickly remove it and then rub it, and then there is no heat because it's dissipated, which I'm not telling you to do. You need to kind of just work with hot glue and figure out your own methods. I'm not suggesting that you stick your finger on molten hot glue, but there are ways that you can kind of still manipulate it when it is still fairly hot. So some people might get very frustrated with using hot glue. It is an asshole, and you get all those stringy bits come off of it. But there are ways you can work with it. Like this bit, for example, I might put a little bit more glue on here, and then I'll just kind of like have to like rub it down to make sure it's in place, and then quickly rub my finger and it's fine. Not when it's like straight out of the glue gun, but there are things you can do. People will probably be like, she's fucking insane, what's she doing? I mean, it depends really on how much you're gonna go ahead with this, because I still have chains and shit that I haven't used, so I could always like hook on some more chains if I was feeling like it. If I did something too long, it's okay, because everything like comes unhooked and there's like open ends and stuff, you can always trim stuff down. But I would say that, I mean, I had a lot of people come up to me at Pride and ask me where I got this, so I would say fucking make your own, because I ain't spending that much money on all that shit. I ain't doing that. So this is it. Novympia Sweatshop. Cute. Well, please subscribe to our channel. I hope you had fun with this. I hope someone's gonna make their own. Happy birthday to ya. Oh, there's some birthdays as well. Just gotta say happy birthday to a few of our patron lovers. Well, yes, hello, Jordan H. I see you. What does the H stand for? How are you for a drink? Well, I'll get you one because it's your birthday. Have a lovely time this weekend. Also, Joey M. I know what the surnames stand for, but I'm not going to say in case you go and find them. Joey, have a lovely time this weekend for your birthday. 25 again, I know that's right. Jordan and Joey, my favourite J.O. George. This has been cute. If you want to become a patron, the link down below is there. It's there for our Patreon. Click on it. Social media, whatever. There's all shit down there. There's just shit. So, thanks for coming, guys. Alright, bye then. Sending out love and pastries to our Patreon family and to our new patrons, Libby Hitchman and Aphrodite Papadopoulos. And you can be the Spotlight patron, because I bet you thought I couldn't pronounce that.